We all want to hit the golf ball further, and there are two components to distance: hand speed and club speed. The club speed is a multiple of the hand speed. So the faster you are moving your hand just before impact, the more that the leverage of the shaft can multiply that and create head speed. So the trick is to create, first of all, enough hand speed, and then to make an efficient release and create a catapult effect at the bottom of your swing to multiply that into real club speed. An average tour professional will have a hand speed just before impact of 20 miles an hour and, using a driver, a head speed of around about 120. And that's why they're hitting the golf ball 300 meters or further. So how are you going to get anything like that? Well, you're not. If you're a 24-year-old tour pro, you've got a chance. Otherwise, what you've got to do is make the best of what you've got. And first of all, it means you've got to start speeding the hands up from the top of the downswing. And you're going to do that by doing what you've probably never done in your life: releasing the club at the top. At the top of your swing, your wrists have two angles. They are both bent up. That means if you look at your thumbs, both of them are bent up towards your body. And your trail hand is bent back. Now, at the bottom of your swing, we're going to release that trail hand forward. And that's going to give you the catapult effect at the bottom. But to accelerate the club at the top, we're going to keep that hand angle, but we're going to release the hand angle that we created by bending the thumbs towards us. So we're going to bend the thumbs away from us. That will actually throw the golf club back at an angle behind you. And to get the hands moving even faster, we're going to sink the arms. And I want to basically have the feeling of giving the club free rein. I'm throwing it out there and I'm letting it go. And I'm going to sink my arm so quick that it can't overtake me. Now, obviously, if I weren't to turn my body now, there was no way I'm coming back to the ball. Fortunately, when you rotate away from the target, you create tension in your body. So if you did nothing, your body wants to come back more or less to its starting position. Your hips don't want to stay rotated. So they're going to bring you back. On top of that, when you throw the golf club actively behind you, the club is actually trying to pull you with it. And you're not going to let that happen. Your unconscious won't let that happen, simply because it wants to stay in balance. And it knows you're going to throw the club behind you. So it knows you're going to do this. So what does it do? It stems against that movement. Your trail foot will actually press into the ground milliseconds before you actually do this. And that will actually start a hip rotation. And this is the reason why you see in the films that there is a hip rotation. But I really don't think that any golf professional is thinking about turning their hips at the top of the swing. And unfortunately, if you do, what's going to happen is you'll turn your hips before you swing your arms down, and you're just going to slice the ball all day. So your first intention at the top of the golf swing is that it's releasing this trail hand backwards, as if there was a window pane here and you're going to clean it, keeping the right thumb on the window pane as a right-handed golfer, and get the arms down, both of them. That means that your trail elbow is releasing here. I know you don't want it straight here, but if you rotate at the same time, it will not get to straight. It won't get to straight till after impact, so you don't have to think about that. Just get the arm down as quickly as you can. The quicker you get it down, the quicker you can swing the club head down. Because I've just done this, at the bottom of my swing, I still have this angle. In fact, by keeping the trail wrist bent back, I'm actually bending the lead wrist back as well in the downswing. So I don't have to think about that either. And at the bottom of the swing, I'm pulling up with my lead side, which is pulling the grip up. and it's impeding the forces of the hands moving forward and actually slowing down the hands. This will accelerate the golf club. This is where Rory is also pressing out of the ground, which is helping him get that lead arm out of the way, and he's pulling up even harder. And by doing that, he's accelerating the club even more and getting the most efficient acceleration at the bottom of the swing there is on tour. But that's more or less all there is to it. There's only really two things you're doing in a golf swing. You're either pulling the club apart or pushing it together, or you're releasing it here at the top. And that's all you've got to be thinking about, even when you've got your driver in your hand. So we're going to take it back to the top of the swing by pulling or pushing the hands together and then pulling the club as if I was pulling a bow. My lead arm is pushing away from you, my trail arm is pulling towards me, and that will pull my lead arm up until it collides with my chin. And then from here, I'm throwing the club back in that direction, keeping the wrist hinge, but releasing the upward hinge. That will throw the club down. I let it go and sink the arms, allow my body to come back to the center, and when I get down to here, I'm pulling it apart, getting that lead shoulder out of the way, and that's what's giving me the big distance. The amazing thing, you're not only going to hit it further, you're going to find it. Because if you've checked your grip before you hit the ball, make sure that when you pull the club apart, when your lead shoulder pulls up, your trail shoulder goes down, you get this kind of stretching in the grip. Your hands are going to go into the impact position. You just got to make sure that the club face is square. Accelerating the golf club has got to start at the top of your swing. It's too late at the bottom. Releasing the golf club, you do at the bottom of your swing, just before impact. But you don't do it by pressing the hands out. On the contrary, you do it by slowing the hands down and pulling the butt of the club away from the ball. This will allow you to extend with your trail side to give this trail wrist release through the ball, and that's what's multiplying the hand speed and giving you the distance that you want. You'll hit the ball further than you ever have before, and if you've checked your grip before it, you'll find it as well. If you like it, hit the like button. If you really like it, go onto my store, and there's a little book there which will explain all that in black and white with a couple of pictures. Until the next time, bye-bye now.